the whole story, I guess, is him, becoming a different person as he, does kind things to her and to other people, and actually, because he actually showcases that he became a more empathetic person. That's the journey, I think I think that's why this story is such a great example of atonement and redemption and forgiveness, is because it's not a linear path, and that's what this whole movie is really about. And the world actually grew so much more. The world, he started listening to the world, he started opening up to the world, and then all the X's of people's faces started to slowly fall off all at once, and it overwhelmed him. But it was a happy overwhelm. It was a happiness, and I think that was symbolic to him finally accepting himself and accepting the world around him, and releasing a shame, a guilt, and actually feeling as though he can actually move forward to make new connections in the world, because he no longer felt as though he was condemned. He did not want he no longer felt condemned and bound to his past mistakes, his past actions. And Shoko was a I think Shoko, helped him in that. They could understand each other because they both hated each other themselves, and they both condemned themselves. And through them being friends and like making all these connections, they were finally able to stop doing that. And that's why I think this is a beautiful story, because so many people feel as though they're irreversibly condemned. They're irreversibly broken. That there's nothing they could ever do to become anything more than what they are, become anything different than what they are, and that their past is something that's concrete that will forever bound their future, and chain their future to a specific outcome. And I feel like if we just opened up our minds, opened up our ears and our world like he did at the end, and see all the possibilities, and see the growth that we can, and see the change that we can actually make ourselves, to make people's lives better in the smallest of ways, or the world better in the biggest of ways. I think it helps. I think self-sacrifice and surrender is a big part of this. But also, I think self-love is also a big part of this. Is like, even though it's a hard journey to love yourself when you feel as though you've done something horrible that you can never make up for. Forgiving yourself seems to be the hardest thing ever. But I think the people in your lives can help you with that.